All right, great. As you guys have learned, we have a final awesome guest here. We've learned about marketing, learned about money, and now we're going to talk about how to enhance your clinical game through aligners with my friend, Dr. Avi. I'm ready for Dr. Avi when my team is ready to bring him up. But Dr. Avi, I'm going to make you share. Before we do text clear, I want you to do a text supreme to 215-543-6454, because if I can brag about my own stuff if I want to on my show. So Avi, we've been friendly through communicating for years, and you said to me, I've paid attention to what you do, Paul. I've watched your CE as a new associate. It's changed my life. The majority of it, I think, was totally free. I'm not sure if you ever even had to pay for anything. We now have a very reasonable monthly subscription. But how did our on-demand CE? You've not been to an event yet. I'm going to kindly annoy you to come, so be ready for that. But you haven't been to an event yet. But you've had a relationship with us through CE. How did that impact your life?
Yeah, I think, the biggest thing with Dental Nachos on demand for me early in my career was it was all the stuff that I needed to learn that I could actually do as a new grad or early associate. Like, I don't need to know how to do full mouth rehab if I'm just coming out. I need to know what is the most effective way to do a class 2 restoration. How can I cut a crown? I remember Dr. Fleischman's his like kind of mini course on crown preps was like a game changer for me.
That is
but
amazing.
yeah, I really.
What happens? We're going to talk about your CIV, but if we talk about it in basketball terms, we're telling new dentists, why don't you learn how to dunk when they actually don't know how to throw a chest pass? They don't know how to dribble, and it messes up everything. It's unfair to the new dentist. It's unfair to the team. So the Dental Nacho Supreme, while we have advanced courses, it means a lot to me that you say this for the impact, because dental school leaves out a lot of missing parts, and you can fill that in by literally picking up your AirPods, putting it in your ear and watching. And Todd's course on crown prep should be a must watch for everybody, because it's going to make you faster and make the process easier.
Well, it also gives you confidence, right? Like just watching some of the recordings, it was just like, oh, I don't feel like I'm actually a bad dentist, because clearly like there are other people that watch this that are also learning this stuff, right? So it's nice because it expands on the simple things that dental school tries to teach you, but it also shows you, right, another way, a more efficient way. And it's just I felt good. I felt empowered, and it was stuff that I could literally go to practice the next day and try it out.
I love that. Well, thanks so much for sharing that, Avi. Let's bring up Avi's text code. So I'm really glad that we're partnering on your clear aligner course. Tell our audience a little bit about your journey through dentistry, where you got to now, and how you've created this opportunity, very similar to the Dental Nacho Supreme, different in some of the ways it's implemented, but you have created a virtual way for people to learn about clear aligners.
Yeah. So starting out, graduated from NYU in 2018. I came out super motivated dentist, wanted to just be amazing at all aspects of dentistry. Kind of went in and I went through the associate turmoil of just a lot of job turnover, a lot of practices. I had about 8 in my first 2 years. But I was using each experience as a learning point. So as much as it sucked to get let go, for various reasons, like they sold the office and they didn't need an associate, or, schedules weren't full, whatnot. But
I mean, because you help us, why is it hard for new associates to find a stable home? Like, you're in this world, like, you graduate from dental school. Dentistry is the best profession ever, right, Avi? The best ever. I was only what other professions have you done? I've done none other professions, right? But I'm just keeping it real. There's awesome parts to dentistry. There's annoying, but I think it's really important. Why is it hard for a new associate to find a stable home?
I think it's because there's a lot of variables, but one of the biggest things is the owners don't actually know why they need an associate. And I was just listening to some of the other people on here, and you guys have touched on it. Like, the owner has to get clear about why you want an associate. What are the expectations? And those need to be discussed up front, so that way everybody can be held accountable for what's going on, right? And I don't think that conversation happens. I've had 11 associateships, and maybe 2 of them I actually had that upfront conversation. And those were the better associateships, because I knew what I was getting into as an associate, and the owner knew what they were getting out of me coming into the practice.
It's clear, it's like no parent would actually ever do this, Avi, but I've used the example of awesome associates being like aunts or uncles or babysitters that take care of your practice. So imagine if I hired a babysitter I just said, sit in the corner. I'll watch my own kids, right? Even if I pay them, it's weird, right? It's not even about
Yep.
paying them. It's about making them feel valued inside of what you're, oh, come over and babysit my kids, but you can just sit there and I'll still take care
Well,
of them.
and then the babysitter starts doing a little bit more, and you're like, no, that's what I do. Like I'm the one
Yeah,
that
yeah.
gives the baby the milk. And
I
it's like,
cut the crust off the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So you go through all these associateships, you go through the
yes.
turmoil. You have an amazing Instagram account where you share inspiration. Catch us up from that.
Yeah, so basically just looking at my career, I kind of saw what the road ahead lied, which was just a lot of like, it was bread and butter dentistry. It didn't feel fulfilling. I didn't feel like I was in a place from a financial aspect where I thought I would be. Yeah, and so I just invested in myself, and I invested in CE, which is why I'm a huge advocate for CE. Learned implants, learned how to do aligners, and then I just like went for it. And with implants, the learning curve was a little bit steeper just because it is surgery. But with aligners, it's a lot of conversation up front and case selection. And so I leaned on my mentor, Dr. Christina Blocker, and she kind of helped me out in the beginning, like picking cases, setting up clin checks, like monitoring stuff like that. Through trial and error, I started like 50 cases in my first 6 months, and then basically kind of transformed the way that I practice dentistry as an associate. And then so I was at a DSO, and there were other doctors there, and so I started teaching them how to do it. And then I was
Awesome.
just like, then I was realizing like, okay, not a lot of people know how to do this, and and the ones that do are talking about all the complex stuff over here, but like no one's talking about the basic stuff. So
Right.
this is a beautiful kind of full circle thing of what we talked about, where it's
Yes, I
just
was
like,
thinking that. Yeah.
of like, I'm basically teaching, and I'm going to use this now. I'm teaching people how to, dribble and pass the ball when it comes to
Right.
aligners. But once you get that down, you can do as much as you want. And so, yeah, so that kind of parlayed into me doing some one-on-one consulting. And then from the one-on-one consulting, teaching other dentists how to do aligners, I came across, a virtual platform of doing an online course. It's more accessible. It's a much bigger reach, all the benefits that come with it. It's on demand. So busy dentists they don't have to block out a schedule or go fly across the country to go learn this stuff. It's something that they can watch at home and implement the next day if they so choose. And I give them all the resources for the follow-up, right? Because it's not just like, I know how to do aligners, now I'm going to go do it. Anytime you have a new procedure that you're bringing into the office, it's a process. How do you schedule patients? What do you tell the team? How does the team talk about it? How
Right.
do you do each step? So
It's so
kind of,
key. And if I can interject, I want to normalize. I know it's a fight. Normalize knowing the fundamentals is what's needed, whether you never want to go beyond fundamentals or you want to get better. We just had Jamie talking
correct.
about if the foundation of your marketing's messed up, you never can do the next thing. So what you're doing is you're giving these people fundamentals, giving these fundamentals. Some may go on and do 100 cases a year. Some may do a couple cases a month. Some may obviously just become better referrers and be more
Yeah.
aware of ortho. And I think that's just what's needed more, kind of like you said, this full circle thing where people can taste test this for no cost, right? They can take your master class for free. Am I on track with that?
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead. Definitely.
And then once you take that, you decide, do I want more, right? Do I want to do more and invest in this training? As we kind of wrap up just a little bit, I have a few more minutes, but like when they do the paid training, what does that look like? When they sign up to pay to learn more, what does that look like?
So that's basically it comes with a video training, right? So there's about 9 modules, and that teaches you everything that you need to know in terms of how to do aligners A to Z. You could know nothing about aligners or ortho. You can take the program, and then when you're done with that video training, you'll have the confidence to start. And then in addition to that, you also are going to get all the materials you need from an implementation standpoint. So I'm talking handbooks that you can give to the staff, workflow guides, checklists to set up your cases. So that way, you can start walking, and then you can also start jogging. And then I do have an additional kind of like a program on top of that for docs who want a little bit more hands-on and want some, monthly coaching with me. And I call it basically like an intensive, where I hop on and it's the for the super
I mean, that's
motivated
what's needed
doctors.
because, you know, people go out and start doing it and they go, oh, geez, I got the ball stolen a couple times, Dr. Avi. How do I get it? Next time, how do I get it stolen? You say, oh, that's normal. I got the ball stolen too. I mean, I have the opportunity to do a lot of speaking. I train people at speaking. And at some point, they got to go talk in front of some dentists and come back and tell me what happened. And, you know, someone asked me a question and derailed it and they forgot things. I say, okay. So you basically, people can also get customized feedback from you inside of that paid program if they choose.
Yep. And we do that in like a small group setting too. So that way it's also like, you know, hey, we got 10 doctors in here, kind of everyone shares different experiences. So now you may not experience what, you know, Dr. A is experiencing because they're a little bit ahead of you, but now you know what to expect. Like, oh, if that comes up, I know what I need to do for that. So it's like, it's awesome. And it's just like it's forming something that is genuinely unique. There's nothing out there on the market. It is brand agnostic. It's not just Invisalign. This is meant for all clear aligner therapy. So yeah, I'm super pumped about it, and
awesome. Well,
looking forward to helping a bunch of docs.
Stick around for a minute after they take you off. I want to chat with you and behind the scenes. But thanks so much for sharing with us. Love your story. Love what you're doing out there. Keep being you. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So that is our Talking Nacho show, team. You can bring Avi down and put up Boost here for a second for me. And I will remind everybody that Super Dentist Boost is happening in Philadelphia, August 4th and 5th. You can text Boost to 215-543-6454. My team can put that up on the screen so people can text Boost to 215-543-6454. You're also going to be able to watch that online if you would like, and you can do that by texting stream to 215-543-6454. Thanks so much for being part of this. If you'd like to learn how you can be part of Talking Nachos, just email us at salsa@dentalnachos.com.